Hey guys, what's up? I haven't been on YouTube a lot recently. I just moved and a lot of stuff going on. So I've been meaning to do this Q&A on steroids ever since like Meg Squats and I put out that video. I've gotten like dozens of questions every day from people, and I figured, hey, whatever, if I'm gonna be open about it, fucking might as well answer these questions. I haven't had time to like personally answer really any of them, but anyways, I made a post. This was the post. Natty lifters. Hey, we got a natty lifter over here. See, nobody cares. I've been like saving that shit to post for so fucking long. And it's true, I do care about natural lifters. Like most of my lifters are natty, but yeah, so just I'm gonna start off by saying that I'm not an expert in any way. Like, I haven't even done like a ton of research on steroids. I did like originally whenever I was like starting out to take shit, but all I really know is what has worked for me and what I've done. I know the basics of like what a guy should do, like for powerlifting. That's pretty much it. And then what has worked for me and the girls that I've helped. So this is all just based on my own experience and just kind of being around, powerlifting and being around people that take drugs. So I'm just going to answer some of these questions the best I can. But like I said, it's not like a professional opinion at all. Regarding Anavar, I have heard both cycling equal time off and on, and I've heard of ladies staying at 10 milligrams and cycling up to 20 milligrams total during what would be normal cycles. I would like some advice on Anavar. I've thought about other cycles, but don't feel I have enough access to legit suppliers. Currently cycling Anavar, figure competitor switching to powerlifter for a break. I would say starting off on Anavar for the first time, running a cycle, to not go over. Kilo, come here, you little fucker. God damn it. Give me bombs. What do you even want from me? He can't even handle when the attention is not on him. Gosh. Yeah, I would say don't go over 10 milligrams a day, and you can actually run like your first like several cycles at just 10 milligrams a day without going up to 20. If you've like never taken anything before, that's plenty. And as far as time on and off goes, again, like just for myself, I'll just tell you like what I've done, and I would rather like take more orals and have it be harder on my liver than take something like Test or something that's like not as hard on your organs, an injectable, but have it turn me into a man. If that makes any sense, I'm sure it does. So time on and off, I kind of would recommend staying on for quite a while, at least 12 weeks before your meet, and then after the meet come off for like I don't know, like 8 weeks, or depending on like when your next meet is, but 12 to 16 weeks before your meet I think is totally fine. Somebody wrote, have fun with the Q&A sesh with the DEA, you fucking morons. Like I give a fuck about that. What is the biggest challenge you face as a female using gear? Well, I would say that it's the side effects that make you manly. Duh. Is there a link to the interview with Meg Squats? Yeah. I'll link it down below. And like to go back on that other question, like, well, I mean, obviously if you're watching this video, you've heard of like all of the side effects, and so they're all true. I don't need to go into detail about them all, but I did talk about them in that video with Meg Squats. Is it common for women to lie about their dosage as it is for men? 75% of dudes claiming 500 tests and 250 trainer doing triple that. And another 20% like to tell everyone that they're 4 to 5 grams because their gear is garbage. Wondering if this is a male ego phenomenon or if women do it too. Yeah, I don't come from like a bodybuilding world, but like the women in powerlifting that have given me advice and stuff and talked to me about their gear usage have never lied. I don't think, because some of the dosages were pretty high. But so I don't think it's quite the same, but maybe in the bodybuilding world, whereas the coach is like, oh, we just need a little bit of help from something else. That's what my girlfriend Iris said, and I can totally see that. And then Chris Bell, who made Bigger, Faster, Stronger, said, I just read something that said because of a woman's makeup, it's safer for her to use Anadrol over Anavar to minimize side effects. Have you ever heard of that? Or is someone batshit crazy? No, I've never heard of that, and I would never fucking recommend it. Whether it's true or not, who the fuck would risk that shit? Okay, that was easy on Facebook. There was like 2 questions out of like fucking 85 comments. Mel, you want to come in here too? She wants in. Just kidding. She wants on top. Oh. Oh my god, there's so many fucking comments. 168 fucking comments. Okay, talk about time on versus time off. Like I said, for Anavar, I would say I would run it for quite a long time. I would be on it like pretty much all the time, except for after a meet. I would come off after a meet. Usually I only compete like 2 or 3 times a year, so I'd come off after a meet for like 6 to 8 weeks. For injectables, I would start them probably about, honestly, 12 weeks before the meet. Gracie, do you regret taking steroids? If you could go back, would you do anything differently? No, I don't regret it. Would I do things differently? Yeah, like in the beginning, I wouldn't have taken all that shit that I took like from the bodybuilder bros. But I mean, in the end, my voice would have still ended up changing. My clit still would have gotten bigger. Like, I would have ended up getting all those side effects just because I've been running gear for, you know, so long. But yeah, for sure. Like, it changed me really fast, and like I almost like lost my job. I was a service writer at a Dodge dealership, and my aggression got like so bad, like my irritability level went so high, and like I went from like, yeah, just like I was like so rude to like customers and total fucking bitch. It was it was not good. That's what I regret. Like in the beginning when I just took everything and like I didn't know. Gracie, Anavar use. My wife has a meet coming up August 20th. How high would you put her up to, and what do you think you'd set it up like? I don't know shit about female gear use, and oh, I always come to your shit. Thanks, bro. It sounds like she's done it before. If she has, well, okay, let's just say she hasn't done it before. I would take 10 milligrams a day, split it up, 5 in the morning, 5 in the evening. If you can remember to do that shit, like I can barely fucking remember to take Anavar every day whenever I take stuff. So I would only take it once a day, and I mean, it still worked for me, but some people are like, oh, you're wasting your money if you're not doing it like that because of the half-life. But so 10 milligrams a day, August 20th, that is like really fucking soon. That's like in 8 weeks, I want to say, or something like that. So yeah, get on now and stay on until the meet. Why don't you agree with females using Tren, as it's one of the best compounds for them, as it works well with estrogen while having very low side effects? Again, just not willing to fucking risk it. Tren is like one of the, like I've seen and been with guys who have used Tren, and it's just not a pretty drug. Fuck. It can really fucking change a person. I was with a guy that it gave him like such lucid dreams, and like it affected his sleep so much. Like he used to, like the sheets would just be fucking drenched, and yeah, I would never like want to experiment with that. So maybe it is better, but why the fuck would anybody try? That's like a man's drug. Time off versus time on. If you're running low doses of VAR, couldn't you just stay on year round, or should you take time off? I mean, yeah, you can stay on pretty much year round, but take like, I would like take off like 6 to 8 weeks, like somewhere like at least like once or twice in there, but like, okay, so that's not staying on all year round, I guess. But at what point, if there is one, do you think someone is ready to take ER? Is it a mental thing or a physical thing? At what point, I would say like that they've been lifting for a couple years and they have like a foundation. Yeah, it has to be you know, mostly mental. Like they have to be willing to take, well, I'm just talking about women here, like, well, I guess guys too, like, but guys, like, it doesn't matter the side effects, right? But for a woman, like, they need to be ready to have every single side effect, even if they're just going to take 10 milligrams of Anavar a day, like, whatever, fuck, be ready to shave your fucking face every day, because that's where it always starts, you know, 10 milligrams of Anavar a day. So eventually 10 milligrams of Anavar a day is not going to be working for you, and if you're like a serious competitor or you know, or you want to continue with it, like, you're going to eventually need to up your dose, and you're going to want to take other stuff. Like, I've seen it just over and over again. So I'd say, like, it's a really big mental thing. Come here. Now. Kilogram. Like, Are there natural types of gear or things that come close? Not that I know of, but recently I have started to learn about Sarms. I don't even know what it stands for, but if it stands for something. But I'm gonna link one of my best friends. They gave me like a link to some stuff on Reddit. There's a lot of information about Sarms on there, and I think it's would be, from the sounds of it, a really a safer alternative than steroids for a female, and also for a guy. So that would be like the one step below. I don't think it's natural at all, but I'm gonna do my research a bit and try and find out more about that, because like if I could like get my girls to take that instead of taking like full-blown like androgens, then that would be good, you know, for somebody starting out. Like apparently like really good strength gains, really good recovery aspect to it. So I'm gonna link that below. What age is too young to start taking gear and pro hormones? What age is too young? I mean, like, definitely like before puberty. Like I would say under 20 years old is very young, depending on like the person, how long they've been lifting, like their body composition, their maturity, like but I mean, I think like around 19, 20 is an age where for males, like if they've been competing, if they're already muscular, if they've already been lifting like a lot of years and stuff, that's safe. Are there other good sources of information anywhere you'd recommend? Like where did you learn about specific dosages, how to cycle? Other good sources of information? No, I don't have any. But that Reddit link, I'm gonna link that below, and I think there's probably a lot of people on there willing to help, like in an anonymous way, and there's probably some really good information out there, but I don't know of any other places. Hopefully that'll be a good place. How do you minimize pain when you pin your glutes? I alternate, but lately I feel it more and more. It's not bad, but it's hard not to flinch when it happens. Any tips? Love your work. Yeah, you go, instead of like going into the butt meat, like you go into more like of the hip, and then there's no pain. How do you get treated as a female on gear? Do people really care? Do you get treated differently? No. Or maybe like they, you know, judge me or think of me differently, but I don't get treated differently. I mean, people are always making comments and shit, like at the fucking oil change place and at the grocery store and whatever, but I mean, that's kind of for any female that lives or that looks, you know, athletic, I think. Do you respect people who are juicing that lift in tested feds? Fuck no. I think that's totally fucking bullshit. And if you're gonna take shit, then don't fucking lie about it. Because we have federations, non-tested federations, so just, yeah, go lift there. How many cycles did you go through? And after seeing results from one cycle, is it something that needs to be continued in order to maintain? Also, as you understand it, how critically does it impact fertility? Oh, the fertility was another question I got sent on Facebook also. I'll answer that first. So I do not think that it affects fertility permanently. I've seen over and over, and for myself too, like I've gone years without having my period, then I come off for a couple months and I get my period, and I've heard like the same thing from other women who have taken like a lot harder drugs than me. So I think that it's all reversible for that yeah, a woman who takes steroids can have children. You know, they just have to come off for a while. Okay, how many cycles did you go through? And after seeing, you will see results from your first cycle, especially in powerlifting. I mean, like in your numbers, they will increase so much. Body composition, it's gonna take a little while. You know, it's gonna take, like, you still gotta work hard and stuff. It's gonna take maybe a couple cycles to see body comp changes. But for a female taking, let's say, like 10 milligrams Anavar a day, but strength in the numbers, like, it's very, very common for the women I coach, whenever they start taking Anavar, that they put like 130 pounds on their total in like maybe 4 or 5 months since their last meet, if they ran a cycle of Anavar. Like big numbers. And they will continue having huge total PRs for like the next 3 or 4 meets. And then not 3-4 meets, like the next maybe 2 meets, like big PRs, like we're talking like almost like 80-100 pound total PRs, and then they'll start getting smaller. Okay, I'm wondering what your EQ cycle looked like while actively competing. I've always thought it was a no-no and that Winnie was good to go. Well, a lot of women think that Winnie's fine and they take it and they have no problem with it. That's just kind of what I was taught. It was not to take it, and I did take it, and I was shooting it every day. I think that's how you're supposed to take the injectable stuff. It's like a white, milky, really thin, water-based stuff. What did my EQ cycle look like? Well, I would run it probably like 10 or 12 weeks before the meet, and I think I shot up like 3 times a week. Maybe twice a week actually. I would say throughout the years that it like I was taking more towards the end, but throughout the years, like it would start off at the beginning of the cycle, like maybe like the first 2-3 weeks, like maybe I would take somewhere like around like 350 milligrams or so a week, and then by the end of like the years and stuff and the end of the cycle, like I was taking like probably at least 500 a week, maybe like 1 cc each shot, and it was probably 250 or 300 milligrams per mil. So maybe even up to like 600. I don't remember exactly the doses, but I think that's really high. And if like I recommended a woman to take EQ, it would probably be starting at like 125 or like 200 a week. I mean, even 200 a week sounds like really high, but that's what I did. I never took that low of a dose. I never took 200 a week, and it probably went up to about 600 milligrams a week. Is a small amount of Anavar enough to see body composition changes as well as strength PVs? If so, how long did it take for you to see improvements in both physique and PVs? I just answered that question also. I would say probably like 3 to 4 months of taking Anavar before you start seeing those body comp changes. What would you suggest to minimize negative side effects? How much has it changed you, and how long did it take you to notice the changes? Well, I mean, it hasn't changed me. I'm just me. But I noticed the changes. I was taking like a lot of stuff though. You will notice changes probably after about 6 months of taking shit, even if it's just Anavar, like I would think. But it really depends on the person. It depends on like, everybody's different. Every single person is different. How much has it changed me? I mean, it's changed me a lot. Yeah, especially like in the beginning, it changed me a lot. Everything like about how the way I looked changed. Like, I mean, I got all the side effects. All of them. So, how long did it take for you to notice those changes? Within probably like 4 months. But at that time I was like shooting tests and like taking all kinds of fucking other stupid shit. I think if you're just taking Anavar, like you're totally fine for like, I don't know, a couple of years without getting, because that's probably around the time where then you're going to want to start adding something else in, and then you're going to start seeing the side effects that are unpleasant. This is a bit delicate, but what I would like to know is, does clitoral sensitivity increase with enlargement due to PD? Yes. A lot. I remember somebody telling me like, don't worry, like you'll love that part, and I was like, oh my god, freaking out whenever it was growing, but yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. Somebody said, where can I get gear? I get asked this all the fucking time. No, I can't fucking get it for you. And I know some people who get it online. It's a bit of a sketchy process. I don't have the websites, and I'm not gonna link them down below, but you have to like sometimes like MoneyGram somebody in like some like overseas country, and it's just I would never fucking order shit online ever, but some people do, and maybe for somebody who like doesn't have any connections, like that's the only way you can get shit, but it's not really a question I can answer. My training partner wrote, speaking of gear, you need to up that shit, you're getting kind of skinny. Yeah, I haven't taken anything since my meet May 7th. It's almost 8 weeks ago. It is pretty much 2 months ago. So I am done taking shit for, I don't know, I think I'm done with injectables for sure. And maybe I'll take Anavar like next year when I compete raw. But maybe I'll end up getting some good information on that Sarms stuff, and end up doing that. But I'm done taking shit. Like, I really like the way my body looks now, and I don't want to ever, like, wake up one day and be like, fuck, like, what the fuck have I done to myself? Like, have a big old jaw and shit. Like, fuck that. My looks are so important to me, and I feel like I've pushed it far enough. So, yeah. I think it would be good to talk about it if you chose to go down that road as a female. Things you need to keep yourself as healthy as possible, since estrogen does play many important roles in your body, and AAS obviously suppresses your estrogen level, bone mineral density, and calcium supplementation. I totally fucking agree. This woman and I, we both broke, pretty sure she broke her humerus also, or maybe it was her radius. No, pretty sure we both broke our humerus. But yeah, for sure. She's my mini out in New Jersey. I love her. Yeah, so I really think that because I was taking shit, like, that my fucking bones were not in great shape, and that's why my arm snapped in half while I was lifting. I really think that it has, like, that it played a huge role. At the time, I was taking a lot of Novaldex, which is like an anti-estrogen. And I remember, like, being told to stop taking that right away after my arm broke, you know, because it was going to definitely slow down the healing process of the bone. So I really think that that's very important. I saw a couple people have asked about regrets you may have had. I think the main thing about is being uneducated before starting, which is extremely hard because you may not even realize you're uneducated. You are uneducated. Sticking with one compound and one dose as long as possible until you truly feel you are no longer progressing with said protocol, which leads me to another question I'd like to hear your opinion on. Should you ever take gear advice from a man who has only experienced helping themselves or other men? Love you, moms. Can't wait for the vids. Meow. Love you too, baby. I totally fucking agree. Like, just get one compound, like, just do Anavar, just stick with it, just run it until it's not working anymore, and then maybe add a little bit more Anavar. And then later, whatever, fuck. You know, start shooting up if you want. No, I would not take I would not take advice from a man who has only ever helped himself or another man, because that's what I did in the beginning, and I ended up taking just everything. What's the best stack while cutting? I don't know, fuck. Clen. The only time I ever cut, I just took Clen, and that's all I was taking, and yeah, I got a 6-pack. It was pretty cool. Anyways, does Anavar help with fat loss as well as muscle gain and strength? Also, are there any sides from it, like with Test? No, the sides are not at all comparable to Test. Yes, there are sides. I would say maybe acne, and like maybe if you've been taking like a lot of it for a while, I've kind of seen some people like the peach fuzz on their face like get like more, not to the point like where they would have to shave their face, but it's like something I noticed, so I'm like, wax that shit or shave it. Like maybe it just depends on the person, like. And yes, it does help with fat loss, but it will not help with weight loss. Your weight will probably go up. You might lose 3 pounds of fat, or like lose a pound of fat but gain 3 pounds of muscle. Like, and then we have, hey Gracie, my girlfriend has looked at Anavar, an anti-estrogen agent. I told her to do a research, but since you are doing a series, I figured I would ask for her. Thank you for answering so many questions for people who may not have an outlet. Yeah, I think an anti-estrogen would also be something like Novaldex, or trying to think of the other one. It's like tamoxifen. I think that's the same thing as Novaldex. That's just like the real name for it. But I think that would be definitely worth running on its own without taking Anavar first if they've never taken anything, or do them both together. But yeah. Just make sure you're ready to, commit to that life. Hi Gracie, I'm too pussy to post this publicly, so here it is. I'm struggling to find any information on how long to take Anavar. Some people tell me to take it indefinitely and some say to cycle. But all of this advice is from men and I would like a woman's perspective, thank you. I think you can take it indefinitely and then just come off after the meet for a while. Okay, opinions on test base day of meet, dosage, and when is the best time to take it. Hour before squats, right after squats, again before deadlifts. I was thinking about taking one at the beginning of the meet and one before deads. Yes, that is what I did whenever I've taken T&E, which is Test No Est. It's like a real fast acting test. which by the way is very fucking painful. Not taking the shot, but like the day after, I remember on the plane, I could barely sit down on my ass. It was so fucking sore. I've never experienced anything like it from a shot. I'm not sure about the dosage. I'm pretty sure whatever it comes in, I took half a cc in the morning, about like around the time that I was like about to go down to the meet after bench, like about probably an hour or so before deadlift warm-ups. Like during that downtime, I took another shot, another half a cc. I did that once, and I've got like offers to do it since. And I had a good meet that meet. I PR'd a lot, but I've never done it. So I'm like, oh, you know, maybe it worked. But well, I'm sure it did. But I've also like had amazing meets without doing it. So it's just kind of like one extra thing to add in. That's like, so I haven't done it since. That was probably over 2 years ago. Okay, or any other day of the meet week or week of meet drugs. I've kind of played around with a few, but nothing really impressed me. Never touch test and never plan on it. Good girl. Aside from doing it once during prep to try it out, just so you don't have any surprises in the day of the meet, and again on day of the meet. I'm okay with I'm okay with taking it, but only if I do it right. Yeah, just don't fucking take it. Just fuck that shit. If you're gonna take it, just do the T&E the day of the meet. And nobody asked this question, but I'll just tell you what I ran. For like the first 4 or 5 years I was powerlifting, I ran Anavar and EQ. Anavar pretty much all the time, and then like I said, I'd come off after the meet. EQ probably started around like 12, maybe up to 14 or so weeks before the meet. Probably like 14. I was a little bit greedy. And it would run between 4, 5, even 600 milligrams a week of EQ, which sounds like a lot now that I look back on it. I think it was like I could have gotten away with like a lot less, like less than half of that, like a quarter of that. And as for the Anavar, I took a fuckload of Anavar too. I would take 50 every day, and 4 weeks out of the meet, I would take 100 milligrams of Anavar a day. Did that for a lot of years. And then the last 2 years competing, I switched to Deca because I felt like the EQ was like taking a toll, like, and I did not like, I just felt like it was really, I was starting to see some sides from it that like, I didn't want to fucking go there, like just from using it for so long. So, and I was also like really lean, like, and everything hurt, like everything felt really cordy, you know, like my muscles just like, fuck, everything hurt all the time. So I switched to Deca, and I started feeling so good, so healthy, so like, and I didn't gain weight or anything, like I felt so like lubed up, like my joints and everything felt healthy and like really good. Did that for the last couple of years. And I actually like went down in dose on the Anavar a lot. Maybe it was just like the stuff I was getting, it was stronger or something, but whenever I was taking all that Anavar, like I was like back in Columbus, and I was getting liquid Anavar. It was like suspended in alcohol, like peppermint schnapps, mint schnapps, something like that. And you take it like in a dropper, and I don't think it was very strong compared to the stuff that we get out here, like the stuff that's made in like kind of better labs like that. It was like kind of bathtub shit. But yeah, so here I would take like 25 milligrams of Anavar a day, kind of like in the off season, and like 40 or 50 running into the meet, probably for 4 to 5 weeks before the meet. And for Deca, I was never like super precise and like did the same thing for every time. Like I would start, I don't know, sometimes I would only start like 6 weeks before the meet because like I was super strong without it. Like towards the end I was like starting to use less and less. Like for my last meet I was just taking 20 milligrams Anavar a day the entire time. And I was taking like just kind of like a shot of Deca like here and there, like definitely once a week, but it, sometimes it was only once a week, and sometimes it was like, I don't know, just kind of to like maintain a little bit. Like I didn't feel like I really needed to like juice myself up. And Deca is 300 milligrams per liter, and so yeah. I've taken up to 600 milligrams of Deca a week for a meat. Like that would be like really close to the meat, probably like, you know, within like the last like, you know, 3 to 4 weeks. But usually it would be like maybe 300 a week, like half a cc twice a week. But I remember a time when I was taking 1 cc twice a week. So yeah, that's all. So if you guys have any questions like pertaining to this, like hopefully I answered them all, or to something else, you can leave them in the comments down below, and I will make another Q&A with, I already have like tons of other questions on my other Q&As in the comments, so I need to make another one anyways. But anyways, okay, love you guys, bye.